Noops.
Droop your genius, nigga. Might break her heart, I tell her what I really did. Black on fire, but I'm chilly chill. On the real, I can take you where it's really real. Try to tell her one day I'll be a millionaire. Slip up, get caught, get 100 years. Tough love, made his mind cry 100 tears. Either niggas getting out or they gone in. It's me against the world, yeah, I'm all in. In the bank, smelling like Bob Marley. Told my girl I'll be home in the morning. I was plotting, now it's going to get the money. My side bitch, that's a whole nother story. Not too many niggas make it out New Orleans. Never hating, if they did, I applaud them. Stay safe, cause the face they're recording. I'm hood rich, still rocking Air Forces. All they know is Mardi Gras and coffins. All I see is second lines and coffins. Phone ringing off the hook, they calling. Trap phones, they jumping like Jordan. Niggas bag up bricks on a regular. Niggas emptying them clips on a regular. Bunch of cowboys riding with a heckler. When a good nigga get killed, that's self up. Probably why them niggas' hearts stay frozen. No love for a bitch like Goldie. Hoes tell me I'm a dog like Rover. From the hood where the cops stay patrolling. Glenwood with the rats and the roaches. Call a plug, get them packs up in motion. On the block with the snakes and the vultures. Rode the tree, yeah, my life a roller coaster. Back to the hood like I never left it. Cops pull us over X21 questions. Living up in hell, wonder will I get to heaven. Lost in the sauce, said stop for directions. Late with the bill, granny gave it to the reverend. I don't give a fuck, feeling like Machiavelli. Trapped in a trap man, trapped in the belly of the beast with a young nigga selling. Route.
Hey, run that motherfucking shit back, man, one more time.
Evil Empire.
You know, I ain't look up to nothing in a while, nigga. I mean, it's still in free. 10 toes down, every last one of them touching the ground. Stand on business, nigga. Hey. 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 Shit like the end of the Scooby-Doo. Take off the mask so you know who is shooting. Together I had to put 2 and 2 niggas. It's false, so don't ask how I know it's true. Rap niggas sound like the usual. The Grinch couldn't even tell who was who. My girlfriend is fucking, she beautiful. My girl got designs on her cuticle. The pocketbook vintage, I booted new. The paint on the trucks, now they too blue.
Cartoon Network.
Hey, hey. My uncle used to sell pharmaceuticals back when No Limit was screaming out hootie hoo. Mama just got off of work when she walked in the crib, I was loading the strap. The bro doing time in the pen for some shit that he chose to upload on the app. But Fitz sitting outside the house where he live, a nigga can't even take a nap. He cut off the faucet water at the crib, cause somebody told him it's tap. No, I ain't over it yet, I'm holding the grudge so you show some respect. If you don't get the picture, I'm aiming the cannon at niggas who posing a threat. Man-made design, a new Frankenstein, I'm rapping with bolts in my neck. I got that crack, I got that shit that pull up my Odom depth. I look at you dead in the eyes when I speak. Let niggas know I ain't sweet. Paid in full like AC. I make sure everybody eat. Hey, hold up. Hey, hold up. Hey, oh, hey, hold up. I rent out the penthouse, you know it ain't cheap. I'm at the top of the suite. Staff get paid every week. I make sure everybody eat. Hold up. Hey, hey, yeah, this shit easy. I heard all them niggas lean cheap, they on a green street. Pull up bumpin' ESTG, I'm with a neat freak. Gotta keep a sexy red bitch, I make a ski. I put the money first, fuck a side piece, I need 5 million. You put your woman first like you Jaheim, cause you like trickin'.
Damn, son.
His mama was white, his daddy was white, they gave him a life sentence. His mama was black, his daddy was dead, they gave him a life sentence. You look at him dead in the eyes when he speak. Let niggas know I ain't sweet. Paid it full like AZ. I make sure everybody eat. Yeah. Hold up. I rent out the penthouse, you know it ain't cheap. At the top floor in the suite. Staff get paid every week. I make sure everybody eat. Hold up.
The Citadel. We got mixtapes on lock.
Let's get it. This that go and get it. With no hesitation. This that never quit. Start that elevation. This that process. This that in the making. This that started from the bottom. This that motivation.
All right now. Man, salute to the family. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. You know, I'm about to do something I actually don't do often. I'm just about to talk to y'all. This is going to be a very different live for me. I mean, yeah, it'll be the usual, but just want to hone in on some things, right? So me sitting here, me thinking about my life, right? With the time right now being just turning 8:40 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for watching. You know what I found so fascinating? What I found so fascinating about my life is everything that I've been through in it, you know. Now, what I'm mainly focusing on is what it's made me. And I always go back to the story that my uncle told me. He told me, like, I remember I was riding with him, and I was like, I believe in my maybe early to mid 20s. And I'm riding with my uncle Nick. Okay, now. And I'll never forget how he told me, right? So I'm talking to him about the things that I'm going through in my life. And he's just listening. We riding, right? And then he comes out of nowhere. And after listening to me, he says, again, I've told this story, but I'm going to reiterate it. He said, nephew, he said, everything you just told me, he said, all you just told me is you're on track of your purpose. So I asked him, I'm like, what you mean by that, Aunt? He says, because you just described to me how God takes the metal rod. I say, what? Yeah, the metal rod. You don't know the story of God and how he took the metal rod? And I'm like, okay, go ahead. So he turns the music down, right? So we ride. He turns the music down. He's like, all right, so one day God took this metal rod and he stuck it into flaming coal and hot fire, smoldering, right? He took it out, took this hammer, started banging on it. And the whole time, this metal rod, this iron rod is screaming out, saying, why are you banging on me? Why are you beating on me? So then, there's no words being spoken back, kind of like how we go through things in our life, right? Nothing's being said back. So now this iron rod is being stuck into the flames again, pulled back out. And the only thing that happens throughout the majority of the process of this iron rod is being burned, being hammered on, and then being frozen in ice cold water, right? So now, as this process continues, the only thing that this iron rod keeps continuously screaming out to God is, why do you keep banging on me? Why do you keep burning me? And why do you then all of a sudden just stick me into freezing cold water? Man, our loving creator, being the ultimate blacksmith, then holds that same iron rod up to the light and says, because I have now molded you into the sharpest sword, double-edged blade, Excalibur. You are what is supposed to cut down any and everything that is to come your way. That's what I learned. All right, so now I'm thinking about some things in my life, right? So now I'm moving forward, you know. But as I'm moving forward, what's so crazy? I couldn't help but to continuously reflect on my past. One thing I find fascinating about today, we are very, very asphyxiated on not wanting to remember. I don't mean that in the sense of like, how most would think, like, I guess you can say slavery, right? I don't mean that in the sense of, I guess, how most would say, uh, what is that? Oppression. No, I'm talking about remember the true essence of who you were when you were at your purest state, when you were at your purest form. I would say majority of us, right, have that time in our life when we remember things were bliss. You know something? I notice how we're continuously told that we are not to remember. Nah, forgive me. It's not that we're not to remember. You're not to reflect on it too much. The number one thing that is incorporated with memory out of the senses. Now, let's just start with the first five. Scent. Man, let me tell y'all something. To this very day, I will never forget what my grandfather's house smelled like. I only been there about maybe 4 or 5 times as a child. I think the last time I've been to my grandfather's house, I was maybe around 10. I'm 42 now. To this very moment, you cannot get the smell of my grandfather's house out of my mind. Right? So what I'm saying is that there's a reason why I believe that we are to know what it is that we come from. We are to know what it is that maybe has caused us strife, pain, whatever it may be. I'm not talking about my grandfather's house. That was bliss. I'm just saying as far as the recollection. I really have peeped that there is no room in this day and age for being able to reflect. Just as fast as technology moves, your process of mind is to move just as fast. And along with it, everything that has taken place in your life. Now, if we fast forward, but now stand still, right? So we fast forward, stand still. Now we come to this place where I noticed that there's a lot of talk about how people need to heal. Interesting. Everybody needs to heal. All right. Well, I would ask, where is the room for healing? Where is the room for anybody to be able to actually grasp what is taking place with them? Why do I say that? Because everybody says you are not to be in your emotions, but yet when I break the word down, I then come to the conclusion that it is motion, energy, motion, movement, energy, movement. Okay, so the energy that moves you. You are not to be driven by the energy that moves you. Now watch this. If you get into the car and you push the pedal with the engine on, right? The car is going to go. Thing about it is that it's not about the car being in motion, right? As in energy, right? As in the ignition, right? And the motion as in you coasting, moving throughout this physical vessel in this life. It's not about that. It's about, are you able to adhere to the speed laws? Are you paying attention? Are you stopping when you need to? Right? Do you know how to ease up on the brake? This is where we are with this. You see? All right, so look. A lot of us are not realizing that there are so many different factors that come into play when we think about how our body, our spirit, our mind moves. It's a lot of things that we react to in so much of a physical standpoint. We don't realize how much more internal it is than external. What it is that you are lashing out at, it really isn't anything that has anything to do with the physical. It's a lot deeper than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a real quick moment. We're going to pay tribute to our sponsors. Who are our sponsors? Us, of course. Why? Because we are the lamps. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. We will be right back after these quick commercial messages. Let's go ahead and get it. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back into it. So let's go ahead and set the scenery. Much respect to you. So let's go ahead and set the scenery. Let's go ahead and get this going, okay? So let's talk further. Let's go deeper into what it is that we're diving into. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. The time right now is 8:51 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. I thank you all so much for watching. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, let me set this back up. Bow. Yeah, we back in there. Okay, now. Boom. My mother's turquoise. Yeah, my mother's turquoise. Okay. Hidden message with that one. All right, y'all. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and take time. We're just going to go ahead and just, we're going to keep talking. I really don't have anything in particular. Honestly, I just want to rap to y'all about life. No bullshit. I just want to kick the shh with y'all and just talk about some life. So let's go ahead and get into it. So again, now, as we go ahead and I at least take my time and I say to myself, you know what? I want to reflect. I want to think about some things. One thing that I know that is very, very important is recognizing that the only reason why I have a testimony is because I have went through the first 4 letters of the word of testimony. You better go through them first 4 letters. Not only shall you go through them, you're going to go through it multiple times throughout your life, through multiple stages in your life. No test will be the same. You know what the internal spiritual growth is like? Believe it or not. It's like Squid Games. It's crazy. It's kind of like the Squid Games for anybody who's hip, right? I know this is going to sound crazy, right? But you do. Although I don't use the word DIE, I do know that we only transcend and we only cross over because you cannot kill energy. You can only stop the vessel from moving. But I do know this, not even but, in addition, right? You must die with inside yourself multiple times. Continuously, you must die inside of yourself. I know this sounds crazy right now, right? Smitty, what are you talking about? This dude, hey, man, look, you need to put the J down. You tripping. Nah, you just need to hold tight and really peep game. What do I mean by die inside of yourself multiple times? What I mean is that continuously you have to be reborn. Continuously you must elevate. Continuously you must evolve within yourself. There is no, oh, I'm grown now. You know, a lot of us really believe that age actually signifies our status of spiritual growth. No, you can be 65 years old and still an infant and or a sperm cell, if you want to call it. You can still be just a baby when it comes to what it is that is really the true essence and form of you. You know, a lot of us don't really want to take time to try to think about these things because we're too busy and worried about what is it that, you know, we can think about of someone else. You know, I remember I actually took time and I asked people, I said, what would you say is the number one thing that brings you peace? And do you know how shocked I was to know that a lot of people had to really listen? I'm not saying I didn't get any answers, but I will say this. There were so many people that just didn't get it. They didn't get it. They didn't recognize what it was that they really have a passion for. They didn't recognize what it was that they truly consisted of. Now, mind you, I'm speaking to adults. I'm speaking to those who would dare you to say how, don't call me young, little, you know, little YN, whatever it is, right? But the thing is that from the ages of, I would say about early 20s, all the way up into the 50s, it was so difficult to come across people who actually knew what their passion and talent was. I found that interesting. So you know, then as I'm actually looking deeper into things, you know, I'm saying to myself, like, yeah, I can tell you right now, I see it now. Took a while. Man, it took some time. I actually had to just think about it for a bit. What is it? What is it exactly as to why most people don't even know their passion? At first, I thought it was because the world has so many distractions. I'm pretty sure you probably thought the same thing. Maybe at some point, if you've thought the same thought, right? But then what comes to mind is, no, it's because most people know that if they were to discover their true passion, they're going to have to go through that very, very dark forest, that very, very scary, you know, sleepy hollow forest of their own self. You know, how I discovered what it is that I'm so passionate about, and which that is writing and basically anything sculpting, designing, and writing with my hands, right? But I only discovered that through pain. Shoot, man. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about it. When I discovered that I was able to really draw and sketch and really form the human anatomy, plant life, everything you can think of. When I discovered that I was able to go ahead and paint portraits with words through my lyrics, I was able to actually get you to see, still am able to. I'm able to paint a portrait with words. The only way that I was able to come to that point in my life was because I had to go ahead and sit back and really go through, excruciating pain. So then, even when I go back to when I was speaking about the spiritual awakening, it's not going to be something that is, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be some like eye opening, you know. And you'll see where I'm going here with this because I'm not going to be too long winded on this part in particular. But really, when you have your spiritual awakening, it's not easy. I'm telling y'all now. And the reason why I say this, because I know a lot of my sisters, a lot of folks, my brothers, all of us, we love to be on our like candle burning incense time, and like we so spiritually woke and deep. I don't know if y'all really, man, I don't know if y'all really want that drama. A spiritual awakening is not something that is fun, easy, or comfortable. Recognizing what it is, who you are, and what you truly consist of, and how it is that you got to the point in which that you got here, you're going to have the moments, you're going to have moments where it just pours through. And I'm talking about everything from your life now to your life before. It's not going to be something that's going to be the most easiest to deal with, right? Now, let's go ahead and let's look at this. Now, I have something that I want to pull up, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to play this part right here. Y'all give me a moment. Give me a moment. All right. Let's go ahead and do it. Boom. Hold on now. Boom. This right here is something that really, really was something I started to really, there we go. Boom. Okay. So I'm just curious about some things, right? So while I'm curious about some things, I started looking up some information. So I want to go to this right here. Y'all just give me a moment. Okay. Now, of course, once I pull this up, boom, boom. Okay, so all right, so let's go ahead and let's yeah, this is man. So now we're gonna go ahead and step into a realm that is I can't front it's pretty creepy to me. And it's pretty creepy to me because I don't get the full perspective of it. But I will say this. Let's see what we have right here. All right. Now, this is one of those videos that's just going to be and it's only for a select few. Okay. This is not for everybody. Boom. And now we're going to go ahead and take us a very brief commercial break. Let's see what we have right here. Much respect to the family. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I don't know what this says, but we're going to see what it is. Let's rock out.
It's too late to go back now. You're about to witness what could just be one of the most powerful days of this year. Pay attention, because if you don't know what's really unfolding, you'll miss the one opening that doesn't come twice. The 555 portal is already wide open, and it's not asking for your permission. This is about being launched full speed into the next version of you.
Forgive me, my alarm went off. So now, okay, now we're going to dive deep into what it is that I really wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Now, this is the thing that really, I don't know. I guess you could say it kind of bothers me, but we'll see what we have here. And boom. Give me 1 second. And home. Let's see.
Awakening isn't the end, it's the beginning. You've just moved beyond what most people spend their entire lives searching for. Think about it for a second. The spiritual journey so many are obsessed with, the constant striving for enlightenment and awakening, that's not the goal. That's just the door you've walked through. What happens next, once the awakening ends, is where the real transformation begins. And the strange part? No one talks about what comes after. No one tells you how different life is when you're on the other side. You're not in the process of awakening anymore. You're free. There will be many unexpected, strange experiences that happen when your spiritual awakening ends. The things no one warns you about, but they're essential for your journey. Because after awakening, things don't get easier. They just get real. You'd expect that after an intense spiritual awakening, life would continue to be dramatic, constantly filled with signs, synchronicities, and revelations. But one of the strangest things that happens? It all quiets down. Suddenly, everything feels calm, even a little empty. You might be asking yourself, where did the energy go? Where's the excitement, the breakthroughs? But this calm, it's not a sign that you're losing your spiritual connection. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's a sign that you've integrated everything. You've leveled up. This period of calm can be confusing, even unsettling. You might feel like you're missing something, or worse, like you're falling backward. But in reality, this quietness is proof that your spirit has settled into its new vibration. There's no more need for external chaos to shake you up because you've already done the work. Now, you're learning how to be, not to seek, but to exist in alignment. The storm was necessary to shake things up. The calm is where true power is found. Your spirit may be free, but your body is still catching up. After your spiritual awakening ends, something strange happens. You start to notice changes in your physical body. It's as if the body lags behind, processing everything at a slower rate. You might find yourself feeling more energetic, more alive than ever before. But other times, you may experience sudden fatigue. What's really happening? Think about it. Your body is the physical vessel for the spirit. And even though your spirit has ascended and evolved, your body takes time to adjust. You're literally recalibrating your physical form to match your new energetic vibration. It's no surprise that during this time, you might experience things like spontaneous changes in diet, sleep patterns, or even physical appearance. Maybe you notice your skin looking clearer or your posture improving, as if your body is responding to this higher frequency. On the flip side, old aches and pains might resurface, or you could find yourself emotionally overwhelmed out of nowhere. This is your body purging old, dense energy that no longer aligns with your awakened state. Your body becomes a reflection of your spirit's transformation. It can be a slow process, but it's undeniable. You are literally changing on every level. Even emotions that you thought you had healed may resurface, and this can be confusing. You might think, I thought I was past this. But it's important to understand that after the awakening, the healing goes even deeper. Your spirit may be free, but the body is still processing the trauma and conditioning of the past. Embrace this phase. It's a sign that true transformation is happening. Don't rush the process because your body is aligning with the new frequency of your spirit. And as strange as these physical and emotional changes may feel, they are proof that you've entered a new stage of your journey. One of the strangest things you'll experience after a spiritual awakening ends is the sudden, deep disconnection from others. It's almost as if the people you once connected with, the places you once felt comfortable in, no longer resonate with you. And this can be unsettling, even painful.
When the world gave them setbacks,
Start to wonder why you're so alone. But here's the thing. This isolation isn't a punishment, nor is it a sign that something's wrong. In fact, it's one of the clearest indicators that your vibration has changed. You're no longer operating at the same frequency as the people around you, and that's why they seem distant, disconnected. What feels like isolation is actually the universe creating space for your next level of connections. You might even start to notice that your closest friends or family members don't seem to understand you anymore. They might even pull away, or worse, dismiss the changes you've gone through. This can be deeply painful, especially when it comes from people you've loved for years. But here's the truth. The people who are meant to continue with you on this journey will rise to meet you. Those who don't will naturally fall away, not because they are bad people, but because their time in your life has served its purpose. This disconnection isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's an invitation to cultivate deeper, more authentic relationships that align with your new vibration. You're not alone. You're just making space for the people who are aligned with your next chapter. You might even notice that new people suddenly enter your life. People who resonate with your spiritual growth, who seem to understand you on a soul level without you even having to explain yourself. This is the universe working behind the scenes, aligning you with your true soul tribe. Yes, it feels strange and at times deeply isolating. But the reality is, your spiritual awakening has placed you on a path that not everyone around you can follow, and that's okay. The more you align with your new frequency, the more the right people will find you, and the disconnection will no longer feel like a burden, but a blessing. The fireworks are gone. You've stopped chasing signs, but it feels like something's missing. When your spiritual awakening ends, one of the strangest and most unexpected things happens. The magic, the signs, the synchronicities, they all start to fade. You no longer see repeating numbers every day or experience those spiritual highs that once filled you with awe. It can feel like the universe has gone silent. This quiet can leave you feeling confused, even questioning if you've lost your connection to the divine. But here's the truth. You haven't lost anything. In fact, the universe no longer needs to scream at you to get your attention. The silence is the ultimate sign of your growth. You've reached a point where you no longer rely on external signs to feel connected. Think of it this way. Before, you needed constant reassurance, constant reminders that you were on the right path. But now, you are the path. You've internalized the spiritual wisdom that you once sought outside of yourself. The magic hasn't disappeared, it's become part of who you are. You no longer need signs to know you're connected. You are the connection. This transition can be unsettling. You've grown used to the external signs of your spiritual growth, and now that they're fading, it's easy to feel like something is wrong. But this is actually a sign of maturity. The deeper you go, the less you need those spiritual highs. You're learning to live in a state of being, rather than chasing constant spiritual validation. What may feel like a loss of magic is actually the ultimate form of connection. You've stopped chasing, and now you're simply aligned. You no longer need the universe to whisper in your ear, because you've found the voice within yourself. Once the awakening ends,
Now that I use Monday Service, AI makes solving tickets my form of meditation. Monday Service is a ticketing platform that helps us manage and automate our
what now? The answer? A new purpose. Now that your spiritual awakening has ended, you may find yourself asking a powerful question. What's next? After all the revelations, the inner healing, and the dramatic shifts in your perception, where do you go from here? This is where things get truly interesting. When you first awakened, the purpose seemed clear. Self-discovery, healing, and understanding your connection to the universe. But now, as you stand on the other side of awakening, a new purpose begins to reveal itself. Your purpose now is to embody what you've learned and to create the life that aligns with your highest self. You see, the end of the awakening is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new phase, where the knowledge and wisdom you've gained must now be applied in the real world. It's no longer about discovering who you are, but living as your truest self. This new purpose often comes with a strong pull towards service. You may feel a deep desire to help others on their own spiritual journey, to share the insights you've gained, or to create something that reflects your higher vibration. Whether it's through your work, your relationships, or your creative endeavors, your purpose is no longer centered around seeking. It's about being. The end of awakening is the start of alignment. Your purpose is to live in harmony with your highest self, and in doing so, you naturally uplift those around you. But this shift can feel strange. You're no longer searching, and that can leave a void. However, it's in this void that your new purpose will emerge. It's less about striving and more about embodying. The more you step into your authentic self, the clearer your path will become. And the beauty of this phase, you no longer have to figure everything out. Things begin to unfold naturally, in perfect alignment with the universe. After awakening, your sensitivity to the energies around you is no longer the same. It's heightened and sometimes overwhelming. One of the strangest things that happen when your spiritual awakening ends is the increased sensitivity to everything around you: people, environments, even objects. It's as if a new layer of awareness has been activated. You might find yourself feeling the energy of a room before you even walk into it, or sensing someone's emotional state without them saying a word. This heightened sensitivity can feel both like a gift and a burden. You've always been somewhat aware of energies, but after your awakening, this ability intensifies. You may notice you're more sensitive to noise, crowded spaces, or even certain foods. What you're experiencing is your newly awakened energy field tuning into frequencies that were once invisible to you. This isn't a curse, it's your superpower. You are now attuned to a frequency that aligns with your highest self, and anything lower feels like an interference. At first, this heightened sensitivity can make you feel uncomfortable, as if you're carrying too much energy that's not your own. But over time, you learn to navigate this new awareness. You develop a deeper understanding of how to protect your energy, setting boundaries that allow you to filter out the noise and focus on what truly matters. This sensitivity also deepens your empathy and intuition. You begin to understand people on a soul level, seeing beyond their words and actions. It's as if you can sense their unspoken thoughts, emotions, and even their intentions. This ability allows you to navigate relationships with more clarity, but it also requires you to be mindful of how much energy you're absorbing from others. Your sensitivity is your strength. It's what allows you to move through life with clarity, empathy, and discernment. The key is learning how to manage it without letting it overwhelm you. This new layer of awareness is one of the most profound and strange things to emerge after your awakening ends. It's a reminder that you've evolved beyond the ordinary senses, stepping into a deeper connection with the world around you. Life after awakening may seem like it returns to normal, but this normal is anything but the same. As your spiritual awakening ends, you may notice something strange. Life around you seems to return to normal. You wake up, go about your day, interact with people, and everything seems as it was before. But there's a catch. It feels different. You feel different. And yet, it's almost as if nothing has changed on the surface. This return to normalcy can be one of the most confusing stages post-awakening. It's easy to think that the transformation is over or that nothing has really changed. But the truth is, everything has changed. You've changed on such a deep level that the external world, while seemingly the same, no longer affects you in the same way. The world hasn't changed, but your perception of it has. What once triggered you no longer does. What once excited you now feels neutral. This is the true mark of transformation. You might notice that you no longer react to situations the way you used to. Where you once felt anxious or stressed, now you feel a sense of calm and detachment. Things that once brought you excitement or drama now feel less important, almost trivial. This isn't a sign that you've lost passion. It's a sign that you've outgrown the need for external validation or stimulation. The return to normalcy may feel strange, but it's actually a gift. You've mastered the art of staying grounded in your spiritual truth, even in the midst of everyday life. And that's the most powerful outcome of all. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content, and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.